Run It Studios is the home of the Run Radio podcast and runradio.net, a podcast and station about the relentless, resilient, and innovative types, inspiring strides in life, business, and beyond. Welcome back to the Run Radio podcast. My name's Trina Wilcox, and my guest today from Keep Fit Kingdom is going to tell us some new things that you are sharing with the world that will make our lives a little bit better, a little more stress-free, which I think we can all use. Welcome, Raj. How are you today?
Yeah, really well. Thank you so much, Trina, for having me. Looking forward to dive into this topic.
So something that is always, I feel like, on people's mind, and if they're not already doing it, it's on their to-do list, and that is to have better health and to reduce stress in their life. So how do you come in when people have those issues that they're wanting to maintain, get better, or just start doing?
Well, I think a tiny bit of backstory might help to give
Sure.
context. Yeah. So I think the way that we're taught in the Western world about what we think reality is, I know it sounds a bit of a big ponderous subject, but it's important just in a very succinct way to understand what we're dealing with here. Right. So we think that human bodies are flesh and bone, physical, but that's not true, actually. That's only a very small percentage of what we really are. What we really are electromagnetic beings. We're powered by something called life force, which is in the air all around us. This life force, contrary to what people may or may not think, is actually very intelligent. And it has all kinds of hidden powers within it, which power the brain, which power the body, which power hormones and all kinds of operations in the body that at this time on Earth right now, it's not so well known, but people starting to take up yoga and meditation, spirituality, they're becoming more aware that there's something going on here. And I think, having that as a precursor to answer your question, I think is helpful as a basis. So where I come in is to help people to tap into their own natural source of energy and power. So it's not so much about taking prescription medications from doctors when you're sick. It's more about tapping into, hang on, I have all these hidden powers within myself. How do I access that?
Okay. So what's one of the number one things people come to you with that you feel like you can help them tap into?
I think the biggest problems people come to me with are stress, anxiety, depression, insomnia.
Okay.
770 million people globally have insomnia. About a tenth of the world's population, right, have insomnia or sleeping disorders. And luckily, because I have a yoga background of 25 to 30 years, I'm able to give people different modalities that help them tap into their own hormones and powers.
What got you into yoga to begin with?
That's a deep question. Do you want to get into that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'll take you back to when I was 3 years old.
Oh, we're going way back. Okay.
Way back, yeah. Well, to me, it seems like just yesterday.
You're right.
Because memory is it's relative, right? There's no time in memory. So my mother takes me to nursery school in London, where I'm born. And the first two books I pick up off the shelf in the nursery school was one about dinosaurs and one about planets. I'm just, for some reason, just inextricably attracted to these. I didn't touch the Humpty Dumpty or the Thomas the Tank Engine or whatever. I didn't touch that. But these two things was like, this is great. This is amazing to me. And my whole life, going through school, going through everything, these themes have always been with me. And I always thought to myself, when am I ever going to find the answers to these big themes? And I realized that I never was going to find out from ordinary people within the school system.
Okay.
So it led me on my own research, my own discoveries, my own travels around the world to then realize, this is what you were supposed to know all along.
Oh, okay. So you start incorporating it into your life. When did it become something you wanted to share with the world? When did it become the blog, the website, the business?
Well, I was always interested in health and fitness anyway. So I had Keep Fit Kingdom. It's got 2,200 articles on there about health, diet, recipes, veganism, yoga, mindfulness, motivation, all those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
But what's even more interesting than all that is what is the power that enables you to do these things? Is it oxygen? Is it energy? Is it your adrenal glands? Where is this stuff coming from? And is it universal?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same energy that runs your brain? Is it the same energy that runs my brain? So I started realizing that even though health and fitness is great, I used to go to the gym a lot. I used to push weights. I do all that alpha male stuff. I loved it, but then I realized even at a young age, my body's starting to ache and I'm having all these pains and stuff. And I'm thinking, this can't be right. Like pumping weights is good, but there's got to be something else that helps you recover, that makes you feel better. And I used to take loads of supplements, you know, all the proteins,
Mm-hmm.
all the different drinks and everything. And I thought there's got to be more to this. So I started sharing a lot of stuff on the blog on keepfitkingdom.com. And then I got more into meditation and finding out about how stress works, how the nervous system works, how the endocrine system works. I started to find out about methods around the breath that can really help people take control of it.
So share some of those methods with us.
Sure, sure. So a lot of people know about the traditional breathing methods
Right.
in yoga. Would you have alternate nostril breathing? You
Mm-hmm.
have bellows breathing, which is also known as Bhastrika through both nostrils. And you have Kapalbhati, which is known as skull shining breath, which is an exhalation through the nose. Then you have what's called the kind of Wim Hof Tumo breathing methods, which is through the mouth, like consciously hyperventilating,
Oh.
all
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. Which it helps a lot of people, as long as they don't, they're not prone to anxiety attacks
Mm-hmm.
and things like that. But what I found was a method that helps to reduce stress and anxiety very quickly, but easily as well.
Okay.
Right. So this first came out, I was developing this before the pandemic hit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a relationships coach for women. I've been doing that for 15 years. Right. So when women would be saying, "Oh, Raj, this guy's not responding to me. I went out with him. I tried to message him. It's not working. Can you help me?" Blah, blah, blah. Lots of anxiety and stress around relationships for women. And I would talk them through some breathing methods,
Mm-hmm.
and they would do them on the either face to face or on a video call or a phone session. And they would say, "Okay, I feel better. Okay, I feel good. My stress has kind of come down." But then when they would be back in the real world, talking to these guys on the phone or trying to get messages going and trying to build something. "Oh, Raj, he's not contacting me. I'm so upset. I'm worried. I'm disappointed. This and that." I said, "But did you do the breathing methods?" No. "Well, you knew it worked. We did it on the phone last time." "Yeah, but in the moment, I forgot. It's not part of my lifestyle. It's too complicated," and all this stuff. So I set about finding something simple and easy, or formulating something easy that anyone can do at any time,
Okay.
that you'd never forget.
Okay.
So this is where the 3-3 method was born.
All right.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
how is that different from, say, the box breathing?
So some people, I've taught the box breathing to some of my clients before, and they would say, "Oh, I forgot the count." I say, "Oh, look, it's just four in,
Oh,
4, 4, 4, 4, 4." And
yeah. For
some people
people that
think,
may not have heard that, it's like in 2, 3, 4, hold 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4.
yeah,
And then you just repeat, 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 repeat into
correct,
like a box.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. And there are other methods that involve you breathing in for 6, holding for 10, breathing out for
Yeah.
16, and then holding for 8. And those counts, people get confused, they forget, they just,
Even
they
when, especially when you're stressed, you're not really thinking count, you're just stressed. So your method is a little bit easier, right? Or a lot easier.
much, much simpler.
Okay. Tell me about it. I got to know
Yeah,
how it
good.
works.
So if you can count to 3,
I can do that.
then children as young as 5, we've taught this. Can you count to 3? Yes. Yes, I can. Are you sure? Yes. Okay. So it's basically, it's the most important part of this is the rhythm.
Okay.
Once you get the rhythm under control or get the rhythm going, it becomes almost semi-automatic.
Hmm.
And the more you do it, the more it becomes automatic. And that's like, it becomes effortless. Because as if you believe, I'm not sure if you're religious or spiritual or you have a particular persuasion, but life is not supposed to be endlessly stressful for us. That's not our nature. Actually, we're supposed to be happy and positive and joyous. That's our real nature. But when we get so wrapped up in the physical world, we forget that, right? So this breathing method helps you dial that back in.
Okay.
Yeah. So you go from sympathetic nervous system, which is freeze, fight, flight, cortisol, fear, adrenaline, go, 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 to now rest, relax, digest, sleep, absorb, recover, heal. And that all happens in the parasympathetic nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
And this method gets you very, very quickly into the parasympathetic, quicker than anything we've ever seen. Right. So if you want, we can do a quick demonstration here.
Let's do it.
Should we do it? Okay, great.
Yes.
All right, Trina. So first of all, what you do is you check your nostril flow. So you block your right nostril and breathe out once through your left. And then do the same on the other side. And then tell me if they're equal or blocked.
Yeah,
Is one blocked? Are they equal, 50-50?
Yeah.
50-50. Okay, good. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Trina, how do you feel right now? 1 being terrible, 10 being amazing.
When you mean pain or stress or
Overall.
probably a 7 or an 8 right now.
7. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Excellent. Okay. So this method is a very soft, gentle breathing method.
Okay.
Does not require you to force anything.
Okay.
And also the good thing about this one is that you don't have to worry about breathing into your belly.
Okay.
Yeah, because a lot of people get confused. Oh, what do you mean? What is that? Belly breathe? How do people, they don't understand that. And that's fine. You're not taught about these things in school, so it's not really part of your training, so to say. You don't have to worry about your diaphragm.
Okay, good.
You don't have to worry about your clavicles.
Good.
You don't have to worry about anything.
Good.
Yeah. Don't have to think about any of that.
Okay.
All you have to do is have a relatively straight spine.
Okay.
Relatively. You don't have to make it super straight, but just relax in the chin perpendicular to the ground. So it's just parallel.
Okay.
And you don't even have to force all the air out of your lungs.
Okay.
You don't have to do that at all.
Okay.
Because we have 5-year-olds doing this all the way up to people who are 85 doing this.
Okay.
And everywhere in between. So it's a relaxed, simple, gentle rhythm.
Okay.
And it goes like this. I'll demonstrate it for you first. So it's 3 in through the nose. Sniff, sniff, sniff. And then ha, ha, ha through the back of the throat.
Okay.
So.
Ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, but without the vocals.
Okay.
So it's a ha, ha, ha. Yeah. There you go. And there's an elongation on the third out breath. A bit longer on the third one. Yeah. I know on the with the tech on Zoom, it'll cut out all of those kind of clicking sounds, but it's just basically for your audience who are listening. It's sniff, sniff, sniff through the nose, sniff, 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 and then ha, 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 but without the vocal.
Okay. And how long do you how long do you keep up that repetition?
What you're going to see, we're going to do it for a minute together.
Okay.
And then you're going to see what happens.
Okay.
All right.
1 minute.
1 minute. I'm going to time it here
Okay.
in a second. And Trina, keep your eyes closed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Keep your eyes closed and be completely relaxed and just follow the rhythm. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I'll be doing it with you as well.
Okay.
All right. So I'll start the timer. 3, 2, 1, and go. Open the mouth a little bit, Trina, so it comes from the back of the throat, yeah? Okay, and stop there, Trina. Keep your eyes closed. Just relax. And just gently notice what's happening within. Just feel the energy. Just relax. Now, while keeping your eyes closed, Trina, tell me what you notice and how you feel.
I do notice that as I kept going through the breaths, that it naturally slowed down
Mm-hmm.
and kind of lightheaded, but then grounded at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Good. Did you feel any cool sensations anywhere, like around the
Maybe in
sun?
my throat.
Throat. Okay. Yeah. Good. Did you feel any tingling
I did a little bit, kind of in my head,
in your head?
my
Yeah.
shoulders.
Uh-huh. Okay. Overall, does it feel pleasant?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Just feel what's happening because you just moved energy
Yes.
around. Yeah.
Moving around.
Yeah. So let me ask you a couple of things here. Have you
Okay.
noticed, have you noticed, Trina, your heart rate slow down a little bit?
Yes, a little.
Yeah. And the mental chatter of that monkey mind that most of us have in this busy world, always chattering, has that slowed down a bit?
It did.
Yeah. Is it helpful for you to turn that off or to?
Sometimes I'm kind of a high strung person, so it doesn't always last very long.
Uh-huh. And do you notice a kind of expansion of mind beyond the body, like an awareness?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I noticed my breathing was able to get a little deeper and I guess more cleansing as we
Mm-hmm.
went,
Yeah.
which I really like that because sometimes I will have trouble getting a deep breath.
Yes. Exactly. Now, on the scale of 1 to 10, you said you felt a 7, I think, earlier.
Yes.
What do you say you feel now?
I would say 5 or 6. I feel like some of the tension actually released in my shoulders a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So do you feel a bit better than before?
A bit, yes.
Yeah. So maybe would you say a 7.5 or an 8 maybe out of 10? Or what do you think?
You mean better or all
Like
over?
like like just overall.
Overall, I'd say about a 6 when I was a 7 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Um and on a scale of 1 to 10, how surprised are you at how quickly this worked, given that you only did it for 60 seconds?
Uh, I am about an 8 surprised, 9 surprised, because usually, like you're saying, sometimes the breath method can be frustrating more than it helps. So I
Hmm.
liked that it was easy, very
Yeah.
easy. That's why I do like the box breathing, because a lot of times I will, if I am stressed and trying to calm down, going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold 2, 3, 4, 5, or wait, no, 6, I'm supposed to hold longer, I'm supposed to exhale longer. It does get frustrating.
It does. You're
So,
right.
yes. And I kind of liked I feel like you have to be careful, because did feel like I kind of got a little lightheaded, like
Mhm.
someone who does the hyperventilating type feeling. So I feel like someone should be careful if that's easy to happen to them. But overall, yeah, I will try it again for sure.
So the thing is here, you only did it for 1 minute.
Yeah.
When we walk people through this, we do it for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes.
Okay.
And what happens is the effect begins to compound. And then they feel even more peaceful, serene. The lightheadedness that goes away quickly.
Yes, yes, it did. Yes.
You
Yeah.
become more grounded, you feel more calm, you get into what we call flow state.
Uh-huh.
So when you have athletes or musicians or people at the very top of their field,
Yes.
what they're always aware of, people who run marathons, do all kinds of sports, they're looking to get in the zone. They're
Yes.
looking to get into a flow state, which is an effortless state of being. When you do this method, we coach lawyers, doctors, therapists, athletes, all kinds. And we coached a lawyer recently. She's a high stress business lawyer. And she has to present meetings and all kinds of papers and presentations every afternoon pretty much to her partners, her business partners and colleagues and so on. And when she does this method for 2 or 3 minutes before the meeting, everything tends to just go in the way she wants it to go.
Oh, good.
I mean, everyone starts nodding their head in agreement, like,
Uh-huh.
yes, yes, yes. And she asked me, she said, what happened? What's actually happening here?
Yeah.
And I said, the reason is when you get into rhythm, into flow, everything becomes easy. And you're not fighting yourself. When you're
Yeah.
not fighting yourself, you don't have negative energy against yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So the reality tends to morph like the bullet time in the Matrix towards a slow motion. You can see things working according to how you think. That's what happens when you get into flow state.
Mm-hmm.
So this is what this method does. It helps you get quickly into flow state.
Excellent. What else would you like to share with the audience on how they can, you know, take better control of their life, their stress, their sleep? We talk about sleep. It's very, it's become a problem for people to get enough good sleep.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're saying this is going to help. Are there any other things we can be doing to manage that better?
Well, you see, the interesting thing is we know that a lot of people take, sleeping meds,
Mm-hmm.
sleeping pills. They have sleeping disorders and insomnia and so on. And when people do this method before they go to bed,
Mm-hmm.
between 30 to 90 seconds, they fall asleep
Hmm.
and they don't wake up for 6 hours. And when they do wake up, they say that was the deepest, most refreshing sleep I've had since I was a child. Right. So what we're doing when we do this method, we're releasing endorphins from the brain, which are pain relieving hormones in the brain,
Mm-hmm.
which are natural. We're also releasing dopamine and serotonin, which are feel good, happy hormones from the brain. On top of that, we're also activating the vagus nerve,
Ah,
which sits behind the throat, behind the face, and in the gut.
right.
Right. This is, as mentioned, very important part of the parasympathetic nervous system. If you don't know how to activate that, you're missing out on a huge amount of rest, relaxation, sleep quality, as well as healing from pain and disease or whatever you're suffering from.
Okay.
So this method, strange as it may sound, it's one of the best, easiest ways to get your insomnia or sleeping disorders under control.
So, how did you come across this? Was this an experiment, or was this just through study that you came to figure out how effective this method was?
That's a great question. That's a great question. So the short answer is I'm very, as mentioned earlier in my story, intrigued about I picked up dinosaurs and planets.
Right.
Now, think about this evolution.
Uh-huh.
My whole thing, the theme that's been following me my whole life, regardless of whatever I studied in school, because that was kind of unrelated to my main mission in life, I was always interested in human evolution. How do humans evolve? Why are some humans intelligent and some are not? Why are some humans like happy and some are not? Why do we suffer from all of these different maladies? Why? So I made it a lifelong study to kind of understand what are the dynamics that separate these types of people from these types of people. If we're all human beings and we all have a brain and bones and spine and blood and consciousness and energy, what is the difference? What's going on? So I was able to understand through intense study of metaphysics, philosophy, psychology, because I'm a relationships coach as well. I'm also a performance coach. So I put all of these things together and realized, that's what it is. It's the stimulation of the brain and the hormones in the brain and the stimulation of these existing nerves that is not taught in school, that allows us to be at our peak performance physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, get into flow state, and to unfold our own potential.
Very good.
Yeah,
So
so I
you
hope that helps.
It
Yes.
absolutely does. Thank you for sharing that with us. Where can people go to learn more, connect with you, and have all the information that they need to have a better life?
Yeah, I think the best place is to go to keepfitkingdom.com,
Okay.
and there's a tab there that says 33 products. And you can
Mhm.
click that. There'll be testimonials, video testimonials. You can ask us questions via WhatsApp, via the website, email, and you can buy a tutorial. There's an animated tutorial as well.
All
There,
right.
give you the full instructions how to do everything.
Thank you so much. As you evolve and learn more, please come back and share with us. I appreciate it. And I think this is really going to be helpful for me and a lot of other people as well.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure sharing. Thank you,
Thanks
Trina.
so much. Thank you. You can watch on Spotify. You can listen there too, YouTube, anywhere you get your podcast. You can link over to which method you prefer at runradio.net. Thanks so much.